can stand up like the younger ones. So you get with the person, right? I believe all of you here are undergraduate, right? Or many of you are undergraduate. I know, I want to know the spectrum of people I'm talking to.
Fresh graduates.
You are fresh graduates. Awesome, fabulous. If you are fresh graduate, you make it easier. On the scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the lowest and the highest, how many of you will say you have a vision? On the scale of 1 to 10, 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. If you know your score is 5 and above, you raise up your hand. That's the first grade. Let it be higher now. Come on, let's see it. Okay, so that means in this hall we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. So we have about 13 people here that already have vision on the scale of 5 and above, right? So the rest is 5 and below. So on the scale of 1 to 10, the same way, how many of you will consider yourself achievers so far? 5 and above, you raise up your hand. And all that. That means you'll be able to carry your vision to be an achiever. How many of you consider yourself achiever? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are doubting yourself. 7, 8, 9. So out of the numbers that have the vision, lesser number happen you have achieved, right? What does it take to transit from a vision to an achiever? What does it take? Because many of you are, many of you have been listening to your wonderful speakers, but I don't know whether many of you are integrated. That you have a vision doesn't mean automatically become an achiever. And what are the denomination of you assessing yourself as an achiever? You have to assess yourself. I'll give you an instance. Very, very important instance. How many of you here will agree with me that you've done one exam 6, 7 times? Or you will say that you have tried something more than you were consistent in trying it? 1, 2, 3, 4. That very few number. Why am I raising this issue? Many of you both go and read the stories of great people. They falter and falter and falter and falter. Take the case of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was already retired at the age of 71 and attempted suicide, tied the rope on his neck, and said, you know what, I'm going to end my life. Why? Because the first paycheck for retirement of $100 came, and he discovered that he cannot pay his bill with $100. So he bought a rope to commit suicide. And because of trying to commit that suicide, like a spark, something came to his brain. No, you know what? Before I killed myself, I know I used to have some very great hobby, like frying chicken. And once I fried those chicken, they were different from every other person's chicken. Let me give it a try. So at the point of committing suicide, that vision came, right? And I'm trying to bring this to you because for many of you, just think, oh, vision must come at childbirth, at adolescent, at adult, at old age. The vision can come at any time. It doesn't really matter. You understand? But then, he now unlocked the rope, hoping that with his vision will be an achievement. Is it not? Good. But the achievement didn't come like that. How did it? How did it come? He had no budget. You can fry good chicken. So to make his own vision to become an achiever or reality, what did he do? He identified several hotels and started moving from hotel to hotel. A place so I have this wonderful chicken I used to fry. I know you have will you just help me to display so that if your food or something is finished, you can just sell it? But then people say, look, this old man, let me watch at them. Go with your chicken. He tried more than 100, so close to 1,000 hotels. All of them. Eventually, one reluctantly accepted. And that means, this was, okay, drop them there, drop them. Then, that drop them there was the major spark, using the term of the young man that spoke first, that changed the narrative. Why? Because the people that went to that hotel, when they were told that there was a new chicken, and they had to join those people who are up there. But if you're afraid of failure, then don't try any vision. Because nobody was not failed in life. I had one of the best graduate medical students in my set, I remember. one letter young boy. If he sees a B plus on the board, he will be crying. He's super A. He's super A. Very good. Any of you will be proud to have such a son, right? Good. Something he lacked. He lacked what you call emotional stability. Very serious. He went to UK with visiting visa and passed the medical plan exam in record time. Super record time. After passing, he made a mistake. He wanted to transit to start working. And he was told you can't transit no matter what. You have to get a proper working visa. Upgrade, change your immigration status. I said, no, now they like people who are clever and all that. And he tried. And once he tried it, there was a background check. Because for every employment abroad, they will do what? A background check on you. And the background check revealed that young, hot doctor, highly cerebral doctor, came in with what? A visiting visa. And that visiting visa did not make him eligible to do any work there. Immigration went after him and deported him. Once he deported, he spiraled out of control and went into depression. Until today, has not got out of that depression. Now, I'm telling you this because many of you, you think, oh, because you have a degree, therefore you are bad. It's just the beginning. Many of the great people had no degree. Innovation had nothing to do with degree. Ideas had nothing to do with degree. Most of the time. I can give you more examples. How many of you have heard of a Chinese billionaire called Alibaba? Alibaba did equivalent of JAM 3 times and failed 3 times. He failed 3 times. And he thought that academy was not for him. Then we started applying for jobs. More than 20 jobs, no one invited me for interview. Eventually, one franchise, I think it was the 22nd or 23rd job, now invited me for interview. In that final interview, 24 people were taken, they were 25 that went for the interview, only himself was not taken. Only himself. I'm sure if any of you become the only person rejected, even your family member will say the witch in your village has refused to leave you. Your church member will even tell you, go and check your grandmother, your mother, father, and so on. You will even look yourself in the mirror and say, look, something must be wrong. You might even become suicidal, right or wrong. But he didn't give up. What did he do next? He went for a major architecture that as at that time was like nonsense, rubbish. And what was that architecture? Alipe. When he went for Alipe, he shared the idea with his people and everything. They mocked him and laughed at him. Said, what are you talking about? Look, you are so daft. You did entrance to university 3 times, you failed. You tried job, they did not take you. Of all the ideas, and so this one is the most stupid. The most stupid. You are an idiot. You see what I mean by adaptogen, stability, consistency, persistency in what you have in your brain. Well, that was stupid idea and so on. 5 years later, I had a subscriber base of about 875 million. That stupid idea made Ali right now to be one of the top 5 billionaires in China. And I'm sure if you go online and so on, you see Alibaba and so on. What am I going to tell you? Many of you with ideas and so on, you just think it pops out and everybody will be clapping for you. If I going to delay with your family member, your close friend, there are a lot of people who are mocking you. And some come in different forms. Some are direct, the direct one, you are safer with them. The one that plays like fancy and you will have to be careful with. The one that says, oh, I'm so happy for you. I love you. Therefore, go, idiot. This stupid guy. Let me go and sit down. Why am I saying so? Because me, I have transited so many disciplines. I can take myself an example. You saw the introduction of government. Oh, Professor Eliade Kameno. Professor tried to do anything to me about the concern. I tell my colleague in the university. Because most of the people, the top notch of innovation worldwide were students. They were not dropouts, not students. So if you think your cerebral cognitive ability is dependent on your academic qualification, you are wrong, dead wrong. When that idea comes and you stay with the idea, you go some places. I was just fortunate to have gone to the university. That's all. I graduated from grammar. Any other thing. When I went to the University of Benin, I spent 6 years in medical school as a dental surgeon. When I finished, I came back for a second doctorate because I didn't know where I belonged. I was trying to say, where do I belong? I did a second doctorate in pharmacology and toxicology, PhD. When I finished that, in the course of relocating my family to US, my cookies with their mom. There was the barrier, the last barrier. And that barrier was, look, we will do a DNA for all these kids before they can move. I said, how much was the DNA? He said, $3,875. I told my kids, you know what? This America, I'm not, I spent millions of it. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. After that statement, there was a domestic war in my house. Domestic war, I could barely rest. You know, when women have, put their children in their pants, there's nothing you can do. And because of the domestic war, I had to capitulate. Even after I told them that I cannot, I had to go and borrow money. And I went to pay for the DNA. And when I paid, the person was asking me, look, how come this DNA is so expensive? Why is it so expensive? He said, well, if after taking your sample, they are accredited in America that will do the analysis. They do the analysis and so on. I said, what of Nigeria? He said, well, sorry, we don't accredit that in Nigeria and so on. That created interest in my mind. One thing I know, my colleagues call me, they call me an academic prostitute. And I take it, yes, I'm an academic prostitute. So I told my colleagues, I said, look, you know what, I want to know more about this DNA. Let me go and stop him. He had to start me. Say, are you crazy? You read dentistry, in hot demand. Even as an American citizen, if you go to US, you know how many millions you will make. You have a PhD in pharmacology and toxicology. If you use that whether in America, where you also belong, you know how much you will make. You want to go and do it? I said, yes, I want to do it. I want to know more about it. But I didn't care what I told if I was going to study something. But when they gave me bill, they can invest on time, can I pay a bill of about $22,000 US. I said, God, I'm not going to be able to do this program because it's too expensive. It was then he made Oshubi. I came in contact with him. And he told me to send a proposal to TEFL. And with that proposal, I was given people doctoral fellowship to go to Canada, to go and do a short training program on DNA analysis and sequencing. And by the time I finished, the vision already on my head was that, look, I must take this program from Canada and replicate it. And I was very lucky that time. Because before I got Doctor of Forensic DNA, I was already running a big NGO that responded to more than 75 countries in the world. And I know I was visa. I'm visa free to more than 100 countries in the world. So I said, no problem, let me use my own contact. I contacted Professor Barry Logan. Professor Barry Logan at that time was the President of the American Academy of Forensic Science. And he had a major role in more than 20-something universities in America as one of the foremost forensic experts. I contacted John Jay College of Criminal Justice, City University of New York. I contacted NMS Land. I told them, look, this idea so Canada, I want to see if I can set up a DNA center in University of Benin so that the first of its kind in Africa. Big idea, big dream. But implementation is a different zero. So I came back. Once I came back, I wrote the first proposal to send it to the University of Benin. They just laughed. They said, that stupid man, they have started again. Is that same man that been pursuing savant, that you appear on television and all that? Is he never tired? He's talking of DNA again. He's sick. Proposal was thrown away. Second time, thrown away. Third time, the lady have to tell them, say, look, first and foremost, throwing the proposal away is a big mistake on our part. If anything, the Senate of University of Benin should write Professor Enyage Kamini special letter of commendation, knowing fully well that a lot of people have gone on fellowship abroad, they never even came back. Not to come and talk of setting up a similar structure. This man went, he came back, he would have decided that from Canada he crossed to the US, his second country, to go into work. He didn't do that, he came back. And you are telling me the man does not deserve commendation. Without waiting 48 hours, send it to the University of Benin, wrote the letter of commendation. But I wasn't carried away by that. That next meeting, they approved for us to have a center for foreign program and DNA study. But the question was, where's the domiciliation? Where does it belong? Because I put under the office of the Vice Chancellor. And that one cannot issue an academic degree. So eventually I was caught in between deciding. Eventually I was agreed, you know what? We are from oral diagnosis and radiology, School of Dentistry. We will do for your center dual domiciliation. 1, admin report directly to the Vice Chancellor. 2, academic report directly to your university and college. That is the only way we can get you to function. I said, okay, no problem. Where was the place going to be? That one took another long time. They were not ready to give me space. Eventually, They look at the former school of dentistry, and okay, don't give me a portion, 50 million of the place. Don't give me a portion out of the place. Well, by 2018, we were approved 29 September 2017. By 2018, I started. And before I started, I went to Ministry of Defense to meet with General Ahmed. I told them, look, your military police are the soldiers that are the soldiers. If you are offended by any military officer, they are military police report to. I think your military police need forensic training. He said, okay, no problem. Let me see the proposal. He got the proposal. He says, no, in our budget, but I'm going to approve. I'm going to give you a 5 years MOU. So that will send soldiers from Abuja to your place. I said, wonderful. Thank you. So, 2018, we opened the gate for admission for the first set. First set, we have about 40-something students. One of the highest postgraduate admission as of that time. They came in, did the program. Just some months ago, we have graduated 5 sets. 5 sets. The minimum number of military officers have trained from Abuja right now, they are well over 50. The next set is coming from now. Now, even in the course of doing that, because even when you think you are achieving, there are multiplicity of obstacles that make you doubt whether the achievement is worth it or not, or whether you should be able to be consistent. And that's why I asked you just how many of you can agree to do an exam like this? If you achieve and don't the people will like you. Don't be this. Once you achieve, you have no enemies. You can say Elon Musk. Does Elon Musk have enemies? Yes. Within 3-4 months, Elon Musk have lost $434 billion. Convert $1.4 billion to Naira. That's a trillion. That's bigger than the Nigeria budget. He has lost more than the Nigeria budget within how many months? 3-4 months. The only thing that still elevated Elon Musk, because the gap between him and the second person is so big. So effectively still number 1 richest person in the world. That is why. That is somebody you will consider who has achieved at a global level. But you see the level of what? Arrow directed at him. You understand what I mean? So when people come to our day, they say, oh, this place is beautiful, and when I say my mind, I'll be laughing. I said, based on my vision, you are listening 20% of activation. 20%. And why is the activation so slow? Because of the bureaucracy of the system. Because the Nigeria is not a system that desires what you call proper private partnership activation. If it's a system that desires so, we will be up there. So once you have a vision or you even achieve, it doesn't mean your enemies will start rolling their head from one direction. Okay, let's take the case of another achievement. Steve Jobs. I don't know if you have heard about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs' mother was a young female graduate, unwedded. I'm proud to Steve Jobs being born. Said, you know what? I cannot look after this child. Consider that the father did not marry me, and I'm going to be a single mother. I'm going to be Steve Jobs, and for what? Adoption. And before Steve Jobs was born, he was already given out for adoption. The first adoption failed. Why did it fail? Because when Steve Jobs was born, a male, the adoptees wanted a female. So because of that, the adoptees said, no, you know what? They're not adopting again. Now woman we want to. We don't want a man. They ran away. The second adoptees, they came. They were also about to run away. Why? Because the biological mother of Steve Jobs said they are not granted. Because they are not granted, they cannot adopt the son. That they want the parents, the adoptee, to be granted so that they can train the son. So those adoptees were made to mandatory sign an agreement that they must what? Trace Steve Jobs. So that Steve Jobs himself will become a graduate. Therefore, they wanted for the one of the best schools to send Steve Jobs to. That's why Steve Jobs was sent to Reed College. Steve Jobs go Reed College, one of the most expensive colleges in America. He went there. 6 months, the man said, I don't belong there. I don't belong there. What was that? All the savings of the adopted parents were being poured on Steve Jobs for that training. He said, but since I don't belong there, if I go back home, those who adopted me will think I'm very, very ungrateful. So what did Steve Jobs do? He stayed back in school. Steve Jobs will come to your hostel and say, please, I know you are doing your best. Don't give me a space to sleep on the floor. I won't disturb you. You are classmates now. You know you are still continuing to study. Me, I'm tired. I don't want to do it again. They allow you to sleep. He was eating once a day. He was selling Coca-Cola, Fanta coffee, 1 cent, 2 cents, selling them a box. On Sunday, he will look for a Christian church to go and eat. That's how people. I'm telling you all this one because if you want to have a vision, be an achiever, your data must be at such a level that you can take almost any bullet. I tell you, in University of Benin, other than the HOD I did 3 times, I told them I was doing the HOD again. I have never contested for any position in University of Benin. The position that where the baby permanent might not be a good housewife. Why? Because there is nothing without his initial failure. The baby is that been made by God. If you say, I pray, my baby will never fall, you are lying. If you pray that I will not die, you are lying, I will die. What you can pray for is long life. Is it not? So I've been AI for how many years? I see a lot of people becoming emotional. In a particular case, I remember one young man that died. The pastor, very fanatical pastor, he came to say, right, can I die? He took him to the side room, spent 2 days with him there. He wanted to reenact Lazarus, but it didn't work out so fine. So what am I trying to tell you? My dear, failure is part of life. Get used to it. Then for the other one, what's the second part again? Go, the step to handling failure. Let me tell you, the first step to handling failure is not doing it the same way you did it before. I do understand. Right now, I have 5 powerful ideas I want to bring to the University of Benin. You know what I told myself? I've suffered enough fingerprint in the University of Benin. I'm not going to be the one that brings it out. What did I do? I said to my colleagues, I said, please, I'm giving you an idea. Write the proposal, send to the University of Benin. I said, I'll guide you for Benin, but don't mention it. You write the idea. And right now, the visit already researched to some of them without knowing that I'm even the one behind it. One of them, smart home technology. I said they want to use smart home technology as a main program to the University of Benin. We are working on it. Very soon, smart home technology is being used. That means the University of Benin will need a certificate for people who want to learn how to develop what? Smart home. That's one. The other one, certificate for import and export. There's no difference in Nigeria to running import and export. Yet all of you want to know how to export, how to bring something, how to sell. I've mobilized some people. I've called the vice president of one of the banks and so on. I said, you are the one handling export debt. Write the proposal, send it to me and I'll tell okay, to share the handle import and export. The other one, I told the university, they are doing nursing. It's not nursing that is healthcare giver. Healthcare givers are not run by any university. CN run by any university. University of Benin start only a program of CN, Certified Nurse Assistant. The healthcare giver by the university will not recognize than any other local place. Not through me, I've given them the template. So that's the reason why a lot of my friends call me, Eddie, you are just a prostitute when you come to me. Why? Because I sing for knowledge. Even for my postgraduate students, I get angry. Right now, they just posted medical biochemistry to me, who are doing master. I was not laughing at them. They said, what am I laughing? I told them, if you advertise for employment in biochemistry today, how many people do you think will come on you? They said, I think you are stupid. I won't go for something that I'll be writing resume every time. I'll be writing application. I will not. Since 2014, I'll be running DNA in both Unity and Unibank. I'll be running DNA. I know my function. I know my relevance. So for young ones who are just graduating, thank God you told me you are just graduating. Do not read the normal code that will put you in the labor market for a very long time. Yeah. If you do that, that is the beginning of your failure. Why? Because if you know you have the capacity to get a backer or godfather or godmother, then go ahead, do the normal one. Because if you do the normal one, the queue is too long. I see somebody from science background, whether math, whether medicine, and so on. The first question I asked them, I said, what are the areas you want? I said, have you heard of computational genomics? Yeah. Okay, I don't know about, I said, good. There's no university only here. I learned about bioinformatics. Okay, good. I said, even the 3D they are talking about. I said, have you heard about 3D bioprinting? Which one is that? I said, the one that print body parts. There's a school, University of Wolofok, in coalition with European country. There's only that program. And at the first of it can be master and other. I said, if you have a master in 3D bioprinting, a vice chancellor is saying, will be very stupid to ignore you. Because they know the era of prosthesis, using stainless steel, using iron rod will be over. How does the bioprinting work? Let's assume somebody has an accident here. There's a defect in the bone. There's a mobile scanner. The mobile scanner is used to scan the defect, the distance, and everything. All the mobile scanner does store it. You take it to your computer, especially advanced computer. Transfer everything. Then there's a CAD in the computer aided design. He designed whatever you go to replace it. After that, you buy compatible silicone in a special printer. You print the bowl, you take it to the surgeon, put it back. The person has a normal bowl, not iron, and so on. You better go. Check it. See, I don't encourage young ones these days to be going for the norm. Don't go for the norm. Go for something extraordinary. So that even if it's one day, see, let me tell you, my postdoctoral training on DNA and sequencing is the shortest training I've ever had. That's just 6 years. The other one, master and PhD for academic, I spent another 6 years. 2 doctorate, 6 years. But the new one I did, few months, and that's the one I'm going to be relevant fortunate right in the of me. So for you, when I see your one, you finish. I want to do master in biochemistry. Oh, come on. Don't rob yourself. That you think your patient, your parents, they have so much time for you to be waiting on the queue every day when you call home. Only half hour. Did they invite you for interview? No. But you have something new to provide. This batch that is being admitted at the eventually postgraduate, I have 2 lecturers that come from Lagos University for my program. I have 3 coming from the University in the North for my program because they want to replicate that thing. Last 2 years, Professor Oladipopo, Professor of Accounting, University of Benin, came for my program. And for over how many years, Major Cornell, they come in, CSO to the government, they come in. I have not, once you come, I treat you like a student, whether you're a professor or not. What I'm telling you is that you must get to a stage, say, look, even if the training is 2-3 days, go and do it. It adds value, it adds to your CV. Even if people do IT with me, when they finish IT, the first thing I tell them, be proficient in fingerprint, extraction, comparison, evaluation. And you say you are an expert forensic in fingerprinting. Because the experts in those areas, there are not many. When you go to NIMS, there's no fingerprint. You go to immigration, fingerprint. Police, everybody do fingerprint. But they do not have the proper architecture for database that can be retrieved to get the criminal. Like, unlike America, where you have the affix or the codes, where you have the automated fingerprint system. If you have committed a crime before, or committed even a crime now, all they do, they compare that your fingerprint to what's in the database bank. They know you are committed. They will tell you, you cannot access this until you clear your name with the FBI or with the police. But Nigeria, everybody's acquiring all this fingerprint abnormally, database abnormally, and they do nothing because they don't know what it takes. They don't know the synchrony. And that is why. So, for me and you in this country, we all have a long way. No matter the fact, I know how many people mock me even from here. My children mock me. They better compare with me these days. Why? Oh, Daddy, don't love us enough. Otherwise, should have been in America. Because when they went, we voted, and the Democrat, when they voted, I was the lone, I was the minority, I was the person that voted against moving them. The only person. Because they won by Democrats, that's why I moved them to America. But it doesn't mean I should not accept responsibility. So for you, if you have finished a first degree, begin to see, no matter how small the certificate is, anything that brings a new knowledge, go and study certificate. Stop chasing the conventional degree. Conventional degree in Nigeria right now is part of the bottom of the system. I told you people in Agric, that God dey agree. By now, I told people in Agric to go out of their way, to go and study animal breeding, to convert the conventional cow meat to what? Meat production. When I was born, I was taking pig meat at my own day. Pig meat, I want that. Pig meat. If you are doing that, you get so many cows together. Even go big and so on. You do mass production, you start to sell meat. There's a lot of money. But we like to do stereotype. Oh, I have a 2-1, first class in this and so on. Right? And so what? A lot of people have first class in law. Were they fortunate? Can they follow me? What do people there? They did not have first class, even their first class. But they were fortunate. Any more questions? I think one more.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, a round of applause with a standing ovation, actually. So, our professor, it's not easy. That speech was amazing. Thank you so much, sir. I was entertained, I was educated. I don't know about you, but I got so much information from that. Thank you. Please, you may have your seat now. While the session was ongoing, some very distinguished persons and special persons walked in, and I'll be mentioning them for recognition's sake. The first person here is none other than Pastor Gega Unia. You're welcome, ma. Alright, also we have Barrister Ikechukwu Nobleman. He's also one of our speakers. You're welcome, sir. We have Bishop Divine Inatama, one-time president of CASO. A round of applause for him, please. We have Mr. Success, one-time Gen. We have members from Big Game Conference. We have people from Mo University. We have persons from CASO and also persons from Pharmaceutical Association of Nigerian Students. A round of applause for all of you.
Because people are already asking for phone number, it's very simple. In case you want to send a message, 006 300,000. 006 300,000.
Okay, the number is 006 300,003. If I got that correctly. 006 300,000 300,003. Do we get that? Alright, thank you so much. Alright, without further ado, we are going to be introducing one of our partners in the person of Mr. Morris. A round of applause for him. Let's celebrate Grace as he comes forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I've been having an amazing time. Like, I was actually blown away by professors teaching and what they just shared. I believe that will actually caught fire and inspiration to actually go and do great things. Okay, I want to thank the organizer of this event for this opportunity. So I'm just here to share quickly about a platform called Study Booster. So I don't know if anybody here knows about Study Booster. Okay, fine. So everybody's going to know about Study Booster right now. So by God's grace, I'm a graduate from the University of Benin, Computer Engineering. And while in school, in my 300 level, I actually had classmates that actually got scholarships that were paying them about 1.2 million naira per year. I personally got scholarships that were paying me about 350,000 naira to 500,000 naira every year as an undergraduate. And something we noticed was the fact that a lot of students are not aware of opportunities that are available to them as undergraduates. So most of us were always dependent on our parents to actually give us money, while you can actually get scholarship opportunities that can actually fund your stay in school. And that's why we actually started building a platform called Study Booster. So Study Booster is an EdTech platform where you can actually get opportunities, updates from scholarship updates, internship opportunities, and we'll actually even give you tactics and hacks that you can use to apply for the scholarship so that you can have a higher chance of actually getting them, and it's actually for free. Then another thing that we also at Study Booster is that we'll actually give you the opportunity to actually learn digital skills, high income digital skills. I also, as an undergraduate student back then, I think in my 200 level, I started learning digital skills, and it actually helped me a whole lot. Like, I remember my 100 level, I was receiving like 5K every month from my parents. When I got to 200 level, I was like, I can't continue like this anymore. I had to start learning skills with my phone. And from there, I got money to get a laptop, and from there, it has been increasing. And as a student, you don't have any excuse. You don't say, oh, I don't have a lot of time. I was an engineering student, so literally all my time was actually to apply from practicals and everything. So no matter what course you're actually studying, you can actually start learning digital skills that can actually help you make money in school and also ease the financial burden on your parents. And that is what Study Booster is actually helping students to do. Currently, we have about 1,000 students from about 20 different universities across Nigeria in our community, and we will implore you to join the Study Booster community. In fact, we'll be having a boot camp currently on artificial intelligence and some digital skills that you can actually learn. If you're in the WhatsApp community, the Study Booster link will be shared with you. Or if you want to join currently, the link is bit.ly/join Study Booster. So like Study Booster. So you being a part of Study Booster community, and very much God bless you.
Applause again. Thank you very much, sir, for that. Okay, right about now, we're moving to our next session, our next speaker. Okay, media, I will need your help on this one. Please, I'll need your help with the bio of our next speaker, person of Mrs. Precious Adruno. You can just help project the bio. so that we can know more.
Organization Transformation. She's also the pioneer director general of the JOTKN Precious Ibuwane Adjoni is the founder of Skills HQ, management consulting and skills development firm committed to people and organization transformation. She's also the pioneer director general of the JOTKN Public Service Academy, Edo State, Nigeria. She was appointed to drive the institutionalization of the academy in line with global standards. Our vision was to make the academy the leading learning hub for civil and public servants in Africa. Some of our accomplishments as Director General include spearheaded the process that resulted in the enactment of the John Odige Onyegu Public Service Academy law, training over 10,000 civil and public servants, and forging strategic partnerships with renowned international organizations like NESPOL. These initiatives were, among other things, aimed at enhancing human capital optimization and engendering service-wide cost reduction. She was formerly the head of youth engagement and learning at Jogoman, Nigeria, where she led program implementation efforts of the Mastercard Foundation Your Nigeria Works project, which aimed to upskill 5 million people and place 3 million of them in dignified work in 5 years. She is also a curriculum design expert, development knowledge facilitator, and creator of the globally acclaimed Jogoman Soft Skills curriculum available on Coursera and other learning management platforms, which has been used to upskill over 2 million people. Precious is an experienced change management consultant who aimed organizational insights from working with a broad variety of highly specialized work cultures and professions, both nationally and internationally. She's led training sessions and intervention across Africa, specifically in Angola, Ghana, Chad, Kenya, South Africa, and Benin Republic for multinationals. She specializes in helping individuals and organizations navigate disruptive cultural change and improve their soft skills and business PR processes to achieve their long-term goals. She is comfortable at all levels of business, having worked as a senior executive and consultant for more than 15 years. Precious has a proven history of leading large-scale development projects and gender initiatives. Her toolbox includes change management, cognitive soft skills, diversity, and inclusion training programs and executive coaching. She creates instructional designs and pedagogical approaches that mainstream gender issues, increasing the participation of women, girls, youth, and other excluded vulnerable groups. She focuses on need-based intervention training programs using a distinction in management, innovation, and change from the University of Aberdeen, Scotland. She received a bachelor's degree in economics from Maruna University, Okija, Nigeria. She also has a postgraduate diploma in marketing, United Kingdom, in marketing certification, London School of Economics and Political Science, in human linguistics from I&I Consulting, British Council, World Bank Development Knowledge Facilitator certification, as well as a wide variety of leadership and communication certifications. In her free time, she mentors women, girls, and young people through a social initiative called Imuwa.com, where she offers free and mobility training programs and mentorship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make Mama Precious Imuwa.
A standing ovation. Can we just welcome her? A standing ovation and a clapping ovation as she takes us on the next session.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Imuwa, and I'm so happy to be here. I say all the time that this is my favorite place. Why? Because when you talk to young people, you're talking to ideas in the making. You're talking to some ideas that you have not even thought about. So when I see people, I say ideas. And not just ideas, I see possibilities. I'll share a short story. Somebody sent me a message yesterday that made my entire year. It's the best message I've gotten in a long time. This young lady was referred to me by someone for coaching, and I think we met in 2016. When she came to me, two things I noticed. Young, she was just graduating uni like you, and she had a very devastating life story. What was her story? Young girl, raped very early in her life. She was 6 when her mother trusted her with a religious person who was supposed to be praying for her, and then he raped her. And that will continue. She would tell her mother would not believe, because the mom, religious fanaticism, your pastor, whatever, cannot do that. So she was dealing with that by herself. Fortunately, her father started to do the same thing. And they would blame her for it. She tried to kill herself a few times. And I remember this young lady sharing with me, and I was crying. In the course of my work with young people, I've heard all kinds of stories, but this one was different. I've never had anyone go through that level of horror and still be alive and just even be a human being. The person who referred her to me said that, oh, the girl, she has some issues and all. But when I started to listen to her story, it became very clear to me why those issues existed. I was even in awe that she was not going around with a gun shooting everybody. Right? I almost felt like she had a valid reason to do that. Yes. Thank you so much. I felt like she had a valid reason. And then we started to talk about her future and all of that. She said, no, the story hasn't ended. Because, she had been so broken that even sharing her story was difficult for her. There's a kind of life that you might be going through, and I don't know why I'm choosing to go through this angle. I can come and do Perspire to Aspire. Whoever invited me knows I don't do that. I exist for authenticity. And Perspire to Aspire, you can get it from the guy selling $18,000 thing. The billionaire advertising on Facebook ads. Very strange, isn't it? Yeah, and then some people are saying, oh, I have 5K. And then they'll send you a number and say, okay, send it. Then it's a bit complicated, but hey, that guy is filling that gap. I exist for something else. And she came again to see me and said, oh, there's more to the story. And I'm like, oh, there's more. And in my mind, I'm even scared. Like, I think I heard enough. She told me about having a drunken mom. And then she had only a brother. She talks about her brother like he was alive, so I assume he was. Until she told me he died of tetanus when both of them managed to. Who have had a very horrible childhood, that we are wearing makeup, moving our hair, and sitting down, doesn't mean it has been easy. But here's the thing though. Every single thing that you would ever become depends on the state of your mind. If my mentee had given up, she won't be here today. She had every reason to give up. Every reason. We live in a country that is exceedingly tough for young people. And I said, for serious young people, I'm not talking about serious, even for serious young people are the people who read their books while they're in school, they apply for jobs, they do. The country is tough for them with all the talent that they have. Now imagine how impossible this country will be for somebody who's not even serious. So, but what do you do when it looks like your legs are broken from here down and there is no hope? It doesn't have to be a trailer crushing you. It might just be something that I expected did not come. I was talking to another one of my mentees who, we worked together in government and things haven't been handing up since she left. But she got an admission to a very prestigious school abroad, and she said, but she doesn't feel happy. A lot of the things that she thought her life would be going in a direction is not going in a direction, and she feels sad. And I said, it's fine to feel sad. Sad is a valid emotion. But do you know what winners and achievers do? You don't stay there. I feel sad sometimes, but I'm so committed to my own evolution that I can never stay down permanently. It's not possible. I can never. That's what a visionary does. When you have a vision, you hold on to it. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie you. 18,000 USD. A fool and their money is easily parted. It's in the Bible. It's still not going to remove the process. I'm not saying don't pay for coaching. I'm not saying don't do that. You should. But I'm saying that there's still work that you have to put in to get the results. You're not just going to get the result just because of looking pretty or just sitting down. You're going to get the result because what? You put in the work. I want every single person. How many people have a clear 10-year vision of where they are headed to in life? Show of hands. I do. Okay. Thank you for being a very honest crowd. If there's anything that you take out of this, I need you to leave here, sit down with clarity, and ask yourself, in the next 10 years, with clarity, where do I want to be? When you do this exercise, you are going to feel fear. Because the way life works is, I remember when I wanted to get my first property, there was a lot of fear around people just buying land. That's interesting now that I'm giving this example because I ended up buying two. Sometimes our potential is even beyond what it is that we're thinking. But I told myself that no matter what I fear, that year would have been 2015 or 2014. 2015 it was. 2015 was not going to pass me by without me owning something that has my name. I used to say to myself then every day, I'm going to own a piece of the earth. Affirmations are very powerful. Affirmations are very powerful. I'm not saying affirmations that you say it and you'll be afraid. Because you know, they say it! You are in this, and when you say, oh, God, I'm a billionaire, you'll be shaking. Because you have not seen 1 million pay. Not to talk of 1 billion, I'm a billionaire. Say it! I'm a billionaire. You are not. How many of us know about the conscious and our subconscious minds? Your conscious mind is the one that you can use to deceive everybody. Your subconscious mind is the neutral mind that knows who you are. If I say I'm a lion and I don't feel like a lion inside, my subconscious mind will be like, hey, precious, that one I lie you. And it will not work, I will not run everywhere. Right? So you need to come into alignment with your subconscious mind. That's where you need to come into alignment with. So you sit down quietly and ask yourself, where do I want to be in 10 years? Every 10 years I recreate my career. In my 20s I was an investment banker. By my 30s I did L&D. My 40s is me becoming CEO, running my own thing and doing, that's what I'm creating now. So every 10 years I come back and I do something new. Every single 10 years. So what do you want to be in 10 years? Walk to the end. Imagine yourself already achieving it. If you say, oh, I want to work for the World Bank in 10 years, imagine that you're already in Geneva. Go online, soak yourself up. This principle is so funny because I teach my children. This principle. My son, in the last 2 years, just came first this last term because I've been telling him that he needs to believe that it can happen. His sister believes it happens for her all the time. She puts in the work. But he always feels like, there are very smart people in my class. Yes, second is okay for me. But I challenged him last time and I said, look, if you really want to come first, you can. It's just up to you. It's you deciding that you want to. So when his result came out, he first told me he doesn't care about it. You know, pay attention to the words that you say. He said, if he comes first, he doesn't come first. He's not the kind of person that must come first. I was just looking at my son. When he saw his result, he came out, he was like, I said, look at him. For like 1 hour, nobody heard word in there. I said, still does not want to come first. Mommy, did you see? I beat so person. I beat that person. That's why I was calling them. I'm like, before they will call you village people, will say, what was your score? He took my phone. The person I said doesn't want to get back. It's better than becoming friend. I've never done that. Whoa. So the point is, but because his subconscious wants it, sometimes we are afraid of what it is that we want. Sometimes we're afraid, I want to relocate, I want to go to Canada. Then you now hear in your mind that nobody in your family has gone to Canada. Who told you? You this fake Benin person. Is Benin or we don't need to go to Abuja in this family or not to talk of Lagos. You now want to be the first person in your family. But it's possible for you to be the first person in your family to do a lot of things. One of my affirmations is that I tell myself that I'm a pioneer. I'm the first person in my family to go to places that that all my ancestors dreamed of. I am my ancestors' wildest dreams. When my ancestors sit in heaven and they are looking down, they are like, we looked at government house, we wanted to enter them, who I entered there. We imagined that we'll train 2 million people. This girl has done it. That is my calling. That's what I came here to do. So you sit down when you live here and you create a vision for yourself without fear. Once you can see the end, then you walk your way back. And then you say to yourself, okay, in 10 years I want to work for the World Bank. Fine. What are the certifications and the things that I need to be doing now? What sort of people should I be connecting with? What sort of events should I be investing in? What kind of person works at the World Bank? Go to LinkedIn, connect with them, figure out what it is that they are doing. Be in that circle. You know what people say, that if you want to, fall in love or meet a wealthy person, be in the circle and fall in love. It's easier than to be inside one place in my village, Goneki, and just be hoping that they'll just fall from the sky and meet you there. Chances are, if you're in a very wealthy area, that's where they're going to be. So you now start thinking to yourself, okay, how do I move myself closer in the direction of my vision? Because there's a doing that needs to happen. All animals have legs, don't they? Or they have something that they can use, or their wings that they use for movement. So it means that nature intends for us to continue to move. So for some people, it will now be clear to you that Benin might not even be the place where your vision gets fulfilled. And then you start thinking of moving there. Or, the circle of friends that you are with now will not take you anywhere. I'm sure you've heard that you are the sum total of your 5 closest friends. I came from Abuja yesterday, and I traveled with my children. They met, another one of my friends that they had never, met before. And my daughter said to me that, "Mommy, all your friends are powerful women," and it's the truth. She was like, all of them. Like the little girl had been thinking, everyone seemed to be doing so well for themselves. It only makes sense that there will be powerful women, because I'm a powerful woman myself. So you have to think, if you are in a circle where your small dream, just small, maybe you got a gig online, they paid you 1 million and everybody's now briefing you. Nobody wants to talk to you again. The 1 million naira did not allow you rest. Accidents here and there. Before you move on, to leave that circle, please. Because it means that your vision is bigger than the vision of the people in your circle. What ideally you need are people that are pushing you to be better. When you say, oh, I'm chasing 1 million, they're telling you that no. How about you do 5 million? They're calling you for deals. There's a conversation we're having with Taraba State. I've never been to Taraba State. He's a friend of mine in the US. Oh, I'm going to introduce you to the special advisor to the governor on job creation in Taraba. What you are doing with Skills HQ is what they want to do. He stayed true to his word. He introduced me to the person. This week, they said, oh, once the governor is back in the country, we'll bring it to meet them. It's my friend trying to create bread for me. Not being jealous and saying, this woman, she has this one, she has that one. I better go. Do you understand what I mean? You need to have that kind of circle. And you also need to be the kind of person that opens doors for people. People always say, oh, but I don't have something to give. But you do. There's something in your hand. It doesn't matter how small. Sometimes it might not be money, it might be your intellect. There's a skill that you have. How can you also help the people around you rise? That's what leaders do. Leaders are visionaries. Achievers are visionaries. People who help people rise. The more people that you carry with you, the bigger your influence is. I'm running a company, and I keep saying to myself that maybe by December, when I'm really, really able to do all the things I want to do for my staff, I will share the story. I'm not paying half of my workforce. There's somebody working on something for me that has been on my neck to get back to them, and I'm wondering, why is she so motivated? I'm not even paying you money. And then when I want to feel shy about it, she told me, I know, not after all the things you've sown in my life, this is the least I can do. You have to build people, build men, build women. You don't know when you're going to need to tap into those resources of the people that you have built. And then in closing, because I'd love to get 1 or 2 questions before I go. In closing, once you've written the vision down, you've made it plain, right, so that you can run with it. Once you've done that, in closing, you have to prayerfully guard your ambition. We live in a world where there will be so many things that will tell you you cannot be whatever it is you say you will be. I'm just telling you for free. You know why? Because we live in a world where many people don't pursue their dreams. If it's not working for them, why will it work for you? So they tell you, or they give you advice based on their own limitation. You have to be able to stand alone for what you believe in, even when nobody is supporting. But you know the good thing about success? Once you blow, guess what? The father that ran away will come back home and walk you down there. You won't be the first inspired. He said, right from time we knew that you would be this. You won't praise your mother because of it. That's how Nigeria is. That's how the world is. So instead of you fighting and saying, nobody believe in me, if they don't believe in me, Use all that focus. Success is the best revenge. You are angry, you want to prove to the world, you want to even shame the devil. Be successful. Do it. Do the things that people say. I enjoy when people underestimate me and I do the things that they said is not possible for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy when it's the same people that have to read my bio and have to see me in places that they didn't think I would be in. And they're like, how did she get there? How did she get to the State House for this meeting? Why is she part of this panel? You know, sometimes I get into WhatsApp groups where I already have, well, I won't say friends because my friends opened up, but I know people there, but they didn't, people were looking for me, but they didn't want to tell you because they know once I come there, I take charge and I claim my territory. But when I come there, I'm not mad at them because I eventually came them anyway, but they don't have the opportunity to get the credit. So I need you to be relentlessly focused. Thank you very much.
If you have any questions for our speaker, just raise your hands.
Who's the boldest first person? You know, after the first person, other people raise up their hand. There you go, that's the brave girl. Then there's a second person. Good.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for the knowledge imparted. My question is,
I want to ask, it might be not, actually the question might have been answered prior to this session, but I have not gained clarity. And you mentioned it again, and I don't want to deceive myself that I understand, I've just spoken. So you talked about growing human, writing down a 10-year vision plan for your life. And I've honestly tried to do this in the past. Mine was a 5-year vision. But I didn't know what to write. And when I finally just wrote something, they were small dreams. I dreamed later revisiting notes and saw that I was dreaming extremely small. So now I want to dream bigger. I want more from my life. And there's a lot on my plate that I'm trying to meet up to. A lot of responsibilities. I achieved a huge success recently. And I'm not as happy as those that are happy for me. Because I don't know what I want to do with that success. So now I want to go home and write a 10-year plan for my life. I don't know what's right.
All right, so let's write it together. Do you want to share quickly what's that success? What do you do? What area? Like, let's do it together.
The success. I emerged as the best graduating student in my faculty with a first class faculty of agriculture. And that's the success I did. What I do, I was a student, but now I'm a graduate.
The Faculty of Agriculture. Congratulations. I graduated with the first class too, but you know what's interesting? Even when you were saying it, you were almost shy to say it. And that's something that you should sit in proudly. So I can almost tell, I don't know your story, but there's a story where your genius has been silenced to the point where, and you must be with your circle. If it's not family, it's your friends or whatever. Where you are light that is kind of afraid to shine because of your circle. And it's tough. It's very common in Nigeria because we live in a country dealing with multidimensional poverty. What it means is lots of people are not successful. So when you are going to be successful in a place where a lot of people are not successful, it's not spiritual. It's just that people are not going to be able, misery likes company. So people cannot associate with you and where you're going. And I can tell you're a loving person, right? So you want to be comfortable. So it's fine. You first class in agriculture, that's brilliant. Just hazard a guess, the first thing that comes to your mind, what do you want to be in 10 years? With your first class in agriculture degree. Just anything, don't overthink it, just tell me whatever comes to your mind.
I'd love to be probably a scientist, someone that's very intelligent, very respected for being intelligent, in high demand in different nations, solving world problems based on the level of knowledge I have about certain problems.
Good. This is very helpful and you write it down. The first one that you said you want to be, you already are. You're already a first class graduate. So you are not, which is something so funny how you have disassociated and you have made it a future thing. You're already there. You graduated with the first class. You need to be able to sit in it. After now, I'll give you an assignment. Lock your door, look at yourself in the mirror and speak your degree. It's not easy. Many people go in school and they never say first class. It's not being proud. Because some of us women were taught to be humble to the point of being ashamed of who we are. It's not pride, it's just what it is. You have a first class and that's a big deal, right? So you sit down with yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, and thank God for your life. So that's number one. The second part is you want to be internationally sought after, global. That's very clear to me. So you want to be a global person. Maybe after saying that, you might now tell yourself, okay, do I want to work for a global brand? So perhaps I think there's an IFO, International Food and Agriculture Organization. You can write that down. You can write 10 different organizations where you see yourself living that truth as being a globally sought out scientist who is, do I want more education within this next 10 years? So I have a first degree now. Do I want to do another degree, so that I can become that who I want? And then go online and look for somebody in the agric space, preferably a woman, but if you don't find a woman, it's fine, that is already doing that thing that you want to see. She's global, maybe she's Nigerian, or she's African, and she's living powerfully in that agriculture space. If that's the space you want to be in, write it down, right? And then when you have written all those things down, make sure it fills up to 2 to 3 pages. Don't overthink it, just write it as it's coming to you. You write it down, and then you now walk your way back. Where am I today? Where I am today is that I have a first class in agriculture. What are the other gaps that I need to fill? Then, let me say this because of our question. Who do I need to become? All of us have multiple selves. The person that I am today is not who I was 10 years ago. Your dream is going to require a different person. Her obviously take up space, right? So you now have to think, and then once you are clear on who you want to become, start to do every single thing, small things that your future self will be proud of. Small, little things, little things. Before I ran my own company, when I used to work for people, I used to go over and beyond. Because I knew that one day I will be doing that for myself, and I will need people to be able to do it for myself. All right, she's already writing a lot of things. So thank you very much. You can sit down. Yes, there was a guy here, and I see more hands, so maybe we'll now take 4 and we'll be done. Yes, sir.
My question is about designing your life after 10 years, then you evolve again and design something different. So about like that's what God wants you to be doing. We only have this, okay, in every of our plan, God factor. So is it that God wants you to be transitioning, or if that was a transition, is it that it's just your desire that, okay, after 10 years, I'll be doing this? So for me now, maybe I want to do something, and I'm facing obstacles, and I want to do another thing. So at what point do I know that, okay, let me stop doing this and resume this order despite the obstacles that I'm facing?
That's a very good question, and we're very spiritual people. Let me say this as a person of faith. There is a myth that our desire does not coincide with the will of God, and it's not true. I have 2 children. God is a loving father. My son is an artist. My daughter has so many different talents, but my son draws. He draws very well. And he has told me that after secondary school, he wants to go to Japan. I want him to go to America, but he said wherever he's going, we'll go to Japan first. Guess what? I have changed my plan to reroute to his own will because I love my son. So there is no desire that I would have for myself that is of good, that is outside of God's plan for me. Because sometimes I find that people don't move, and people also delude themselves to say, oh, God did not tell me to do that. God will never sign us up to a life that does not align with our inside. You see the way I'm here now? I came back yesterday from Abuja. I have different tasks waiting for me. I don't have to be here. I'm not paid to be here. Do you know why I'm here? Because it makes me, I always come out for things like this for that one person that my message might change their lives. It cannot be outside of God's plan for me. So your will, your purest desire aligns with God's will for you. That's number 1. Number 2, does it have to be 10 years? It could be 5. It might be after 10 years. I like change personally, so I can't do one thing for the rest of my life. It will be boring. But for some other people, their plan is the same. It's fine. You don't have to be changing it every 10 years. You might just renew your commitment to yourself after 10 years, but God, I can't. I like change. Yeah? Yes, ma'am. And there's a guy there. Let's keep the gender balance thing going.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So, from all you've been saying, it's very obvious that your life is very multifaceted. Like you've talked about your Christian faith, your children, your family oriented, and then you work for the government, you own your company, you mentor. It's a whole lot. My question now is, how do you balance all of these things?
Oh, thank you so much. And when I was in my car, I was telling somebody the truth. I'm building an online university, and it's funny because I'm doing it because there are all sorts of, even the platform, the person takes from other people free, but they're even willing to do mine free, right? Just so that this woman can get this thing done. But guess what? These people have been chasing me to give them feedback, and I've not been able to. Why? Because this last week, I took my children to Abuja on holiday. And when I am in family mode, anybody who knows me knows that I'm not working. Because I'm mostly working. So if I commit my children that I'm giving people 1 week without work, I mean it. But in that 1 week whilst I was working, a lot of things have suffered. So I always say that balance is a very difficult thing. You can have it all, but not at once. Right? So that 1 week when I was with my children, obviously, I missed some people's phone calls. I'm now calling them back. Obviously, I was just focused on being mommy, going into water slides.
And so we are doing something about it through community outreaches, through our programs. We do free medical outreaches, we do advocacy projects, and we do campaigns as well. Now, the interesting thing is that recently we have launched an actual solution to the problem, which is Oxycontin Health, as you can see at our vendor stand. So Oxycontin Health is changing the narrative of chronic disease care in Nigeria, building a platform, an all-in-one platform where we can access care all in space. Now, many of us here may have a parent, at least everyone should have at least one relative, maybe living with a chronic condition like diabetes or hypertension, and we can attest to the fact that this can really be financially draining. And most of the time, a single mistake, such as a missed dose, a wrong drug, a missed hospital appointment, can lead to preventable complications and even. So these are conditions that need continuous care, continuous support, even a community where you can learn from others, share stories, access doctors, pharmacists, anybody you need on the go. So this is what we are trying to solve for health. So recently we have launched in Benin, and we are starting with our medication delivery service. So we're making it easier for persons who are using drugs. You may have parents, okay, they need certain drugs. You yourselves as young people, you may have certain conditions that you need routine drugs. So we are here to help you out to get the right drugs based on your own budget. So we don't believe in, oh, you must have a very expensive drug, because we know how it can be burdensome, and these drugs have fluctuating prices. So we'll make sure we listen to your budget, and then at your doorstep with the right pharmacy support and guidance. Also, we have also launched our support group community. We're starting with Telegram. So we have different support groups for different diseases, whether it be hypertension, kidney disease, sickle cell disease, even women's health, such as many women experience things like PCOS. They experience things like metabolic disorders, weight gain problems. So we are offering a support community for you to thrive and also get expert medical advice. So we would encourage you to visit our vendor stand. We'll be offering free health checks like blood pressure checks, BMI checks, and also give you the necessary health advice. So we really hope to see you, and please scan our code so that you can connect with us and learn more about us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, I need you to give a round of applause. Thank you so much for your time so far. Thank you, and thank you again. So, moving on, we are moving on to our fourth speaker, if I'm not mistaken. Our fourth speaker, who goes by the name Pastor Gilga Omaya. She is an award-winning multi-writer. She's also known as the boss writer. She's one who is very interested in growing businesses, and she renders writing services to individuals, to business owners, to organizations, and what I do. So without further introduction, please with a clapping ovation, let's make welcome Pastor Gilga Omaya.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Let's stand up and do a little stretch. We'll be sitting for a while. Just turn around. And I don't know if you've done it, but you can shake your neighbor. Just find out that. Have you done it? Alright. Do you know my name? Because nobody came to that. Okay, you can sit down. Well done. So in few minutes, because the time is fast spent, I was asked to speak on how to dominate your life as a young person by the Spirit. And when they say by the Spirit, what Spirit? Spirit of the Amen. Okay, so how can you dominate your life as a young person? There are different aspects. You know, you have your life, your financial life, everything. We are looking at how can you manage everything? How can you win every area by the Spirit? If you know who to go to or where to go to tomorrow to get 20 million naira, how do you make? Is that?
No stress, Abby.
Now people will say my destiny helper, my destiny helper. If you knew the actual person that has the link to change your life, how would you? How can you get to that point where you can dominate your life by the Spirit? I'm going to be giving you practical scenarios of how I was able to dominate certain areas of my life and how you can replicate this in your life. Because the truth is that God gave us the Holy Spirit to be our helper. To be our helper. In Acts 1 verse 8, it says, "They shall receive power after the Holy Ghost has come upon you." What will you use that power to do? In Ephesians 3:20, it says he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in you. The moment you receive the life of Christ, the Holy Spirit enters, so you already have power. But the problem is that we are not utilizing or maximizing this power that we have received. And the Holy Spirit is not over-sabi that will do what you did not send him to do. It's there, it's waiting till the day that you recognize that he is able to help you, he is able to teach you all things, he is able to give you the aid and immediate assistance that you need. How can you recognize and maximize this? The first point is recognizing that you are empowered. You have the power. Tell yourself, I have the power. Many persons, they easily feel helpless. They feel helpless. A professor was talking about some heart issues, and till now it's difficult for him, the doctor, difficult for him to get himself back. Because when you fall in life, you need to realize that you are not going to remain in that place. You have to recognize that you are not helpless. Now, there are different aspects of your life that you need to master to become an achiever. There is the physical aspect that has to do with your environment. See, no matter how much you want to excel in life, if you don't handle your environment, it's going to be hard for you. If, for example, you are from a place, maybe a family area whereby you don't have no opportunity to have reasonable people, you can create your environment. I said this in, I think, Big Game Conference also. You can create your own environment. So in area, I don't have people who are goal-driven in terms of maybe they have big goals, they want to be global. I don't have that kind of people in my area. So what do? Will I say there's nobody in my area? Maybe everybody in my area that are doing how to gossip, sit down, talk about this one, that one. I have to create my environment because the internet is there. So I've been able to connect with a lot of persons in the internet because I have a dream and I have a goal. There are many persons that I met on favor, this person, many other persons through the internet. So if you want to have good friends offline, you can maximize the internet space. So that's the physical part. The emotional aspect is very important. You see people, they will break their hearts, they go and kill themselves. The emotional is very important. They will rape them. Maybe parents are always saying negative things about you, allowing to affect you, you cannot move. To become an achiever, if you don't handle or learn how to master emotions, it's going to affect you. You have to master emotions. Some persons, they will tell them a word. That word up their day, mess up their week, in fact, mess up their life. Somebody said something unkind to you. You have to realize and recognize that I have the power inside of me, and I am not what? Helpless. So after the emotional part, we have the mental part. And that's why this program exists, to help you mentally, to shift your mindset. If you have a mental shift, even if you are not in the right environment, it's only a matter of what? Time. But you have the right mental shift anywhere you go. Even if you want to pretend, that mental shift will pull you out. No matter how you want to pretend. There are sometimes I go out, I'll say, yeah, I want to be on low-key. But that low-key is just temporary. Because something will bring me out. Something. I remember when I was doing one program, I said, this program I'm going to be on low-key. I was coming late, I was sitting back, I was not talking in the class. Then one day, I think, I just said, we were asking questions. Okay, let me just ask a question. I asked a question, and by the end of that class, 8 people reached out to me. They took my number. That's how my name just scattered in the class. I wanted to be on low-key, but because of the nature of the things I've been putting inside, it's only a matter of time. So your mentality is very important. Programs like this, training schools, very important in your life. And then after this, we'll go back to the spiritual, which is why I'm standing here. How can you dominate your life by the spiritual? Now, I've told you, you have to recognize that there is a power that is working in you. There is a power at work in you. In 1 Corinthians 2, if you read verse 9 down, it says, eyes have not seen, ear have not heard, neither have he entered into the heart of man what God has in store for you. So as you are here, God has a plan, God has a purpose, God has so many things for you. But we cannot imagine those things. But you can get them by the Spirit. Please, if you go home, I want you to read it again. If you know it, read it again. You see, you can get them by the Spirit. It means that there are a lot of things that God will actually want for your life. But if you don't tap into the Spirit to access those things, you can just be living the barest minimum. So you will be drawing your goals for where God wants you to be in level 10. But you can only capture level 1. Why? Because you are not tapped. You have not been able to work. You have not been able to tap. Somebody was asking, how can I get ideas? How can I get goals? Through the Spirit, you can get ideas and goals. No way, through the Spirit. The Lord can just give you an idea, bam, like and then it's not left for you to utilize every other thing that has been said to move to the next level. Now, let me give a practical example. So I've talked about understanding that there is a lot in you that you have to tap into, recognize it. Number 2, you have to read the word. You have to read the word. There's no straight formula I want to share aside from the word and prayer. You have to read the word. The more you read, many people will say, I don't hear from God. Many times, in fact, the number of people that hear God's voice, it's not if you that God will call their name and say, Gilgal, or Esther, Margaret. It's only few persons. Most times, he will speak through the small, still voice. You will say something. What is that something? Who is living inside of you? I say something is something. What is this something? Is it not the power of God that is living inside of you, giving you direction? Many persons have made mistakes in life because they ignored the small still voice. And it is that you will know when he is what he is speaking. So read the word every day. Pray. When you start giving yourself reading the word and praying, you'll be amazed at the things you begin to unlock in your life. There are so many things that God has planned for you, but they are in different cadres. They are in different layers. The more you give yourself to the word and prayers, the more you begin to unlock. You begin to unlock. So God can speak to you through the small still voice. It can speak to you through your dreams. Through your dreams. Many people dream, they forget. It can speak to you through your dreams. I remember when I wanted to do a project, and then everybody was bringing ideas. The person that was in charge of NYC, our LI, he said that any project they want to do in this place must be related to building. And in my mind, I said, I don't want to do building projects. I want to do something. I read agriculture. I want to do something that's related to agriculture. I want to work on snails. I want to teach these people how to raise snails. And I want to write a book on snails as a writer. So the man said he will only approve building. So I said, I'm done. I'm not doing. I gave up. I said, I'm not doing. So my other friends, they wrote proposals on building, submitted, they approved. I was sleeping in the night, and then I heard the voice of God so loud and clear. What you have in your mind, go and do it. Very loud and clear. He said, what you have in your mind? I said, what? They said they will not approve. He didn't even answer me again. That was like, it took me 3
3 weeks of struggle to finally write the proposal. The man took the proposal, looked at it. It's only built-in. I said, I want to approve. Anyway, he signed it. And then he said, go to the head the states. That's where you have issues, you will approve. Because I went late. Everybody has already gone fast. So I went there. I told the woman that I want to do project. The woman had already signed the document. Before she now asked me, sorry, when are you passing? I said 3 months, and she was shouting. She shouted and shouted and shouted, but she has already signed it. You won't cancel your signature. She was shouting and shouting. I didn't even answer. So she now said, she's giving me a deadline. Wasn't that 1 week deadline? I need like 3 days to go for a crusade. See, there's no way you will do God's work and God will not show up for you. But eventually, I got an award. Vanguard miscarried it, and they also gifted me cash in because imagine if I did not hear that voice that said, go and do what is in your mind. So the Spirit of God plays an important role in your life. It will instruct you. It will direct you. I remember when I was down financially, I was so broke, I didn't even know what to do. I was troubled because there were a lot of things to do. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do this, but I didn't know. I was so confused. And then I told my friend Esther again, I said, I feel so burdened right now. And then the Spirit of God said, by strength shall no man prevail. In the midst of chaos, if you give yourself to God, it will come at intervals to help you, to instruct you. And then I told her, I would like to shut down for 30 minutes. I left my phone. Many of you, your distraction in being dominated by the Spirit, your phone, you are too addicted. The addiction is too much. You cannot live 30 minutes and say, okay, data, let me off you, or let me off one airplane, or let me just pray. You'll be praying, you'll be looking at notifications, you are distracted. So I told Esther, I said, I feel so bored, and the word has already come that they shall not prevail. I want to go and pray. So I said, I'm shutting down for 30 minutes. Yes, do you know how many minutes? Do you know how many chats in there? Because assuming I was thinking at the phone, I wouldn't have been able to go and pray. By the time I finished praying, a name just dropped in my spirit, and I started the person like, how are you doing? Normal conversation, I got a laugh. And I was dancing. That was last year, October, during JP, I was dancing. Now imagine if I did not tell myself, I could have still been online, be bothered, and still not get what? Solution. So you need to be dominated by the Spirit. You have to create that time to say, God, this time is for you. I want to pray, I want to study. That is the main secret, that you're being led by the Spirit and are embedded. And you have to give yourself to quietness. Many of us, our spirit is too noisy. You have to give yourself to quietness. Not praying. Wait. Don't leave. Just be there. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes. From there you can be increasing the time. And quietness. You want to hear God, but you're not giving him time to speak. Learn to be calm. Learn to relax. That way the Spirit of God is able, your mind will be able to receive words that comes into you. Every one of us can walk in the prophetic. There is nothing strange there. I was not born a prophet. So just giving myself to the word and prayers, and things began to unlock. Every one of us can walk in the prophetic. Every one of us can see visions. You can see visions for your life. You can see visions for your family. You can see visions for yourself and even for strangers. You have to start from where you are. So being seriously dominated by the Spirit is not only when you are a pastor. You don't need to be a pastor to walk in the prophetic. Just tell yourself, be asking God questions. God, what do I do? God, what do I do? I'm interested in this, I'm interested in that. Pray on your goals. If you have a goal, you have a plan, you have a dream, pray on your goals. When you pray on your goals, the Lord will help you. Now, I have a boss that is so harsh. It's difficult to work with him. I worked with him, I ran away. Because one thing about me, don't tell me bad words. Do you get it? I tell my parents, I know I cannot run away from. I don't care the amount you are paying me. If you insult me, you are done with that job. See? So the man was so harsh. So that when I go to work, I won't be going on with depression. See what? I know I need money, but I cannot get depression in this place. I left the job. Now a normal person will leave, and the person will maybe like beat the person. But because the Spirit of God is in me, I ensure that there was still love in my heart. To walk in the Spirit, to be dominated by the Spirit, you have to be pushed by love. Love will have to regulate everything that you do. I know you want to be an achiever, but you cannot be an achiever outside love. It is love for humanity, like this person that is so healthy. Love for life, like our daughter that was about the accident. Love for preservation. These are the things that will push you. Whatever you want to do in life, it is love that will push you, that will propel you. Even if you want to be the global figure, you want to be this, you want to be that, it has to be driven by love. But if it's not driven by love, a time will come, you will start to work, you will start to deviate. Praise God. So you give yourself to the word, recognize first that you are not helpless. When this happens to you and you are confused, say, I am not what? Helpless. There is a power that works in me. If you want to cry, you can cry. If you want to stay down for a while, you can. But please, get up. No matter what happens to you, say, I can move forward. And then you create time to read the word, create time to pray, create time to be calm and to be what? Still. Meditation, Joshua 1 verse 8, that this book of the law will not depart from your mouth. You shall meditate on it day and night. Then you will find good success. I don't know if you want to be successful. I don't know about you, but my dream will be big. I don't. If you follow, I used to tell my dad, maybe so you'll be feeling fun to me. He will laugh. I used to tell my friend, I say, all of him, be joking with me, don't worry. But the truth is that my mind is so big. If I have a dream and you cannot, and what is the thing that's even preparing this dream? Because God is a big God, though. Do you get it? I'm completing already. God is a what? God is a big God. There was a day I was praying. They told us to write our prayer points and pray and dance around it and pray. So I wrote, I want 1 million. God said, don't limit me. I cancelled it. I said, I want, this was in 2015. I said, I want 2. I said that time I've never seen, is it 2015? I think 2021 or so. And then I said, I want 2 billion. He said, don't limit me. That's okay, I want plenty money. God is unlimited. If you read the scripture, if God is giving promises, I don't actually read God is giving. I don't see the kind of promises that God is to give. In Psalm chapter 2, he will say, ask of me, I will give you the heavens, I will give you the nation, I will send you this. God is not so. Why are you thinking small? If God is unlimited. Now there's a scripture in thank you. Now there's a scripture in I think Obadiah or Hezekiah, I can't get the exact scripture, about an angel that was going to measure around the city. As he was going to measure around the city, and he said, run, tell that man not to measure the city, that God will be the borders. It means that the extent to which they will excel or they will expand cannot be limited. Imagine God being your border. So I want you to know that there is power that works in you. There is a lot you can do by the help of the Spirit, but you will have to give him time. You will have to give him permission. You will have to commit your goals and your dream to him to make it a success. In conclusion, Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, you will have to acknowledge him. You will have to acknowledge him, and he will be the one to direct your path. I want to start a business. I want to do my master's. I want to travel outside the country. All your ways, acknowledge him and say, God, I acknowledge you as my source, as my help, and he will be the one to direct your path. I don't know if it's permitted, but let's just shut our eyes. Or I think I'll do that after question. I'm taking just 2 questions if there's any. Just 2. No time. Let's just shut our eyes as we pray. I don't know what your goal is, but say, Lord Almighty, fill me with your power. Micah 3 verse 8, he said, truly, I am full of power by the Spirit of God. Say, God, fill me with your power. And with this power, I move into that space, I move into my life, my family, my household, and I dominate and I change things. Let this your power silence every opposition in my emotions, in my physical realm, every opposition in my mental realm. Help me, God, and open me up to new levels and new dimensions. In Jesus' name, amen. Last tip, if you want to dominate by the Spirit, you have to surround yourself with spiritually dominated by the Spirit, because the energy is what is contagious. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Please, another round of applause for our speaker. Another round of applause for our speaker. And Atama for her, please, if you can still remember. Atama, Labako, Labarina. Thank you. That means we're actually active listeners and we're learning really fast. Thank you. So, without further ado, for the last time, here is our last speaker. Is none other than Barrister Ikechukwu Nobuma. He is a legal practitioner, he is a business consultant, and then he is also a Chelsea fan. That's my most favorite part about it. Alright, so please let's make welcome Barrister Ikechukwu.
Alright, good evening, everybody. Come on, talk back at me. Good evening, everybody. I can hear you. Good evening, everybody. Are we so calm? We have been taking a whole lot of informations. I just want to quickly share with you within 10 minutes about leadership and politics. Alright, what did I say? Leadership and politics. You know, when I came in, I met the respected prof giving us some lectures. Then the other lady from the John DK Center gave a lecture. Then I heard from the pharmacist. I heard a brother who gave us something about his app and stuff. And our pastor just charged us in the spirit. Let me first of all say, God bless you, man. The thing is that I'm kind of a spiritual person as well. So I really enjoyed everything that she said and everything that she said. Now, let me quickly just drop this, that leadership is the bedrock of every success. Now, there's nothing that works in a bad leadership. Nothing works in a bad leadership. And leadership is not a person. Leadership is an institution. And institutions are built. Institutions, they are built. Right? So if you want to become a leader, you must be someone who must be ready to be built. And in building does not just come up once. It takes step by step. Alright? Step by step. So there must be some amount of training that everybody who wants to be a leader must first of all go through. Now, because of the limitedness of our time, alright, I'll just see how far I can monitor these things up and packs a very, very important message to us. Now, if you want to become a leader, alright, you must at first, right, have the mindset of becoming. When I say have the mindset of what? Of becoming. Now let me quickly say this as well. Leadership is not an issue of gender or sex. Do you understand? Leadership is not, it's not an issue of what gender or sex. So that's why I'm very, very angry when I see women say, I want a position in. So you are not creating, you are not thinking, those of us that are men, we are better off. So you want to, no. Leadership is not gender-wise. Rather, leadership is as a result of what you can give. So if you have not been built to a level where you can give out something, then you cannot be a leader. So this is the reason why we are in this our country. Because we have people who have not yet been built, but they are trying to give out. And in law, we say you cannot give what you don't have. So it's as a result of what in the spiritual realm we say that it flows from what? From our belly. Alright? There's a song Prosper sang, out of your belly shall flow what? The head. So it does not come out from it's from your inside. So if you don't have it inside of you, you cannot give it. And then we go to the other part of which is politics. Now politics, as I will fondly divide it, is a concept of election into leadership. Now, what we have is we have young persons, or we have a system where people practice politics who are not leaders. Hello? Now, look at it. See, this discussion is as important as the spiritual realm, because even the Bible recognizes leadership. That's why the Bible says that it is until the righteous is on the throne that the people will rejoice. So the Bible knows this. That's why even when God saw that these people, they need a leader, he had to make Saul to become the leader of the Israelites. So God recognizes leadership. But what we have is that we have a whole lot of most of us who want to become a doctor, who want to become a lawyer, who want to become business, and we are not putting our minds in politics. We're not putting our mind in politics. Live on for them. What are you living for? People who are not going under this training. Just imagine the amount of words that you're taking today. And now you have become like that woman. Do you know what it takes to take care of someone that is not your person? That's leadership. There's a sense of empathy, in the sense of love. She mentioned it just now. The Bible says that if you like, you have hope, have everything, and you don't have love, it is nothing. So what we have a whole lot of young people who want to make it, but the sustainability of you making it, we are neglecting it. And I'll just give you this practical example. I was in my polling unit in the last election to cast my vote. And in my polling unit, roughly 1,094 persons that were supposed to, ladies and gentlemen, we know up to 74 that came to cast our vote. And if you ask most, say all of them in there, they don't care about me. You do you care about me? Because we're a leader. And one of the things that you are, as a business like this, you are showing love and you are compassionate towards and do the basic thing. I know some say, people count. You come and do your part first. The more we begin, the more we continue to shy away from these very, very primary things, the more it will begin to be difficult. We'll begin to pray more. I can't be praying for street lights in the US. You know, that's the prayer point in the US. It's the basic amenity. When you pray for street lights, you pray for erosion not to enter your house, everything you begin to pray. So, but the thing is that it is we that are growing up, becoming businessmen, that will not become, if we don't have this mindset in this lecture we are having now, but enter into politics and become like our leaders. So, like I said, leadership has to do with an institution. So, to build an institution, you must undergo trainings. And let me quickly say this. I'm not trying to cover things up. Let me quickly say it. Even in your house, you are a leader. Do you understand? And someone say, there's some people that are born leaders. That's some people that once they talk, you know. Personally, I disagree. Some persons are outspoken than some others. Do you know? There's something that you can lead me on. Let's say, what do you do? Sorry. You sing, right? Let's assume I don't sing. Let's say I act. I come and meet you, and you are teaching. Are you not my leader there? That's it. So, but before you can teach me, you yourself, you have to at least know the basic in the keyboard, like C sharp and all that. So I mean, you don't carry me go okay, right? So please, and in a nutshell, we need to go back home with a different mentality of this seminar. The mentality of not just being an ordinary person, because you want to become what? An achiever. So if you really want to achieve, you need to begin to pay attention to those leadership qualities that God has given us. Now, should I tell you that God gave you leadership quality? When God created you, He said, He called the host and said, let us give man. What was it? Give man authority, give man dominion over everything. So, a man that has authority, a man that has dominion is a man that is a leader. So, you have those things inside of you. Know that God is calling you to use it to better the life of His people. Because He has said it, that it's when me and you enter the position, that's when the righteous will succeed. I will just round up with this. In my 500 level, when I was University of Benin in 2017, I wanted to go to the law school. I was really low on cash. You know, those days it was very, very difficult. I was really low on cash. So I was teaching, I was doing 3 jobs, teaching and all that. So I look at it. I said, where can I have very fast money? Where can I have very fast money? And one night class, one man said, "Guy, you're a very noble man." No, my name is not actually noble man, just a nickname. Because of my practice, so they call me noble man. You're a very noble man. Person like you suit for politics. Politics came. Let's try it. So that was how I entered. And they came and they said, see, as well as they said now, if you can make money, you can do this, do that, do that. Look at it. No, I have love for the people are very, very easy to, to manipulate and all that. I say, guys, tell them anything they want money. I look at it. Fun enough, my wife now was 100 level, so I was already close to her, like, no, at least I have love for this one, So I cannot even pray on her or anybody. So I said, what can I do? And I had to say, okay, fine, I need money. I need to sell all of them. I made profit from the ID card. I made 150,000 naira profit from the ID card as far back as 2017. Right? And yet I gave them what? The ID card. I did a service as a leader. And I gained. Till today, the only award I've ever received while in my State University of Benin class, when they graduated in 2023, they gave me an award that I was the best speaker they had all through the years. The issue that I had love. Did I not gain? I gained. But did I serve? I served. So if you have love for people, alright, as you begin to serve them, you see blessing. It also happens in our lives. Let me just divert a bit. If you really want to become successful, look for something that humanity wants. Save humanity. If you are very good, cook and people will come and buy. If you are very good at singing, produce a song, people will listen and they will pay you. God bless you all. In Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for such a breathtaking session. Another round of applause for our speaker, please. Another round of, with the limited time he actually had a lot to say, and I learned. I'm sure you also did that. So, right now, I will be signing out, but before I do so, I want to remind us that the Cake Lounge is just right off the hall, to my right actually. You can still patronize her. You definitely need our services. You need to fill your stomachs up, alright? And then, Okron Healthcare is also outside to give us free medical checkups. Alright, so make sure, in fact, you all have to participate because it's one of the benefits of being here. And to this I say, with all we have learned, let's ensure that we execute, let's ensure that we do all that we have learned, and learn, relearn, unlearn, and make sure this becomes a part of your life. And yes, I am your host once again. My co-host is unavoidably absent, but in absentia, we sign out from this event. Thank you all. Thank you. We still have to take closing prayer, but while that is going on, you can be networking, talk to the persons you want to talk to. All right, thank you.
This is